Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashley.
NSDV believes deeming could bring regulatory certainty to minerals investment.
Yeah, so deeming provisions means you give the government a certain time. So it might be 120 days. You put in your application. If it hasn't had a response after 120 days, you take it for granted that you can go ahead. So this is being done in various countries to speed up investment. We need to speed up investment here. A lot gets clogged up in the departmental bureaucracy, and we can't have these piles of applications anymore because most of them are very compliant. They spend a fortune on getting lawyers to make sure these things comply, and then these documents just sit there for ages, and they can never give you a time limit. And this is stopping a lot of investment. We know that exploration is a no-brainer at the moment. There's so many critical metals that are needed. We've got people knocking on the doors here wanting to explore, but they say, how long is it going to take? So what, NSDV is a specialist mining and environmental law firm. They're saying, create a deeming provision, have a fixed time. So if you can say to this investor, put your application in, let's make sure it's 100% compliant. And if you don't hear from the government, a busy government, in 120 days, you can go ahead and mine. But of course, the law says you've got to comply. So if you haven't complied, they can come back and haul you over the coals. And I think that'll be something all these people will try and avoid like the plague. So it is a way of getting investment going quickly. We need to get that investment going. We need those jobs. And I think they've got to come up with an innovative solution, even if they give it a sunset clause, and say we'll do this for 3 years or something like that.
Now, tell us about Harmony Gold's renewables rollout.
Yeah, Harmony has got sustainability in the front seat. And they're a big user of electricity. They've got these deep level mines. And so they want to start generating their own electricity. There's a business case for it. So the first phase, second phase, third phase, they've already got planned. Phase 1. Going ahead, I think they'll probably be sod turning while we're talking here, is going to be 30 megawatts, and that's in the Free State. And interestingly, that is off balance sheet. That means that they don't actually put the capital in. So they get a third party, the core business of which is to give you that solar power, and they agree to buy it from them. So it's no big capital expense to start off with. But interestingly, if you look at phase 2, 137 megawatts is on balance sheet. So what is that telling you? That there's a very strong business case here, that they're prepared to actually put the money in. And the calculations at the moment look like they're paid off in 3 years, 137 megawatt. And, they'd be saving something like 500 million rand a year, 500 million rand a year. So if it's 1.5 billion, you've covered that cost in 3 years, and you keep that mine going for 20, 30, 40 years maybe. So it's a massive business case. At the same time, they want to clean up their act. They want to make sure that it's not just coal-fired power that they get, but because they're so deep level, they're going to have base load support for quite a long time. But in the meantime, they can move forward, on this clean power, and also go for the social side of the ESG. The E, the S in the ESG, that's very important, and a lot of spin-off can come from this. They've got a lot of water in their mines, they can get that to the local community can go into agriculture. There are all sorts of possibilities. And so people are looking at this in a big way, that they're putting sustainability into the front seat, and they're going ahead with a lot of environmental improvements, also social improvements, and of course governance has got to be important.
Lastly, Martin, small diamond miners are looking to grow the sector and create jobs with big license holders.
Yes, the South African Diamond Producers Organization, Sadpo, they speak on behalf of the small alluvial miners. And brother, they came forward, very professionally this week, very well prepared. I think they are really seeing that values of diamond in our country are huge, but we're not reaping the benefits. So there used to be 25,000 people that were employed, I think in 2004, in this industry, alluvial diamonds. You get it not from the kimberlites, but close to surface, from water, all that sort of thing. 25,000 people has dropped to 5,000 people. because the government's legislation comes in with one size fits all. So you've got these small little diamond operations pulled upon to actually do what the big guys do, so, and they just can't afford it, so they fall out. But what has happened? Big illegal mining. So, they say you go to certain parts of the West Coast, you can see these fellas armed. So even if you've got a license, you're too scared to actually produce anything because, you're going to run into trouble with organized crime. And that is something, they've got to deal with. If people can just see this visibly, surely the law enforcement people can see this visibly, go along and ask for a license. I know there are sometimes serious repercussions, but they've got to deal with this illegal mining. And Sadpo coming forward very professionally, they want to not just tick boxes. They don't want to just get approval from DMRE. They want to really embrace the whole industry so that the big license holders that are also doing alluvial diamond mining can join with them, including the likes of De Beers, join with them. And then you get a very well aligned type of approach so that we can get back to 25,000 people that you employ there. They could even do more. I think they've got 200 operators. They used to have 2,000 operators. So this is an opportunity for South Africa. We need those jobs. We need that value. Those Middle Orange diamonds, the people the world over want those diamonds, and they've gathered in the Middle Orange there, and they're available. And we've got to get people to get them. It's needed.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
Great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Mining Weekly daily email newsletter.